I want to talk about how just about anybody realistically could make like another $1,000 a month if they really wanted to, just by having a side hustle. So I've had a side hustle now since like 2019, and it kind of blows me away that I've been doing it this long, because it's almost just like second nature anymore. I don't really think about it, I just kind of do it. And so I've run an eBay store since about 2019. I got back into Pokemon cards, and I started buying Pokemon cards from Japan and then importing them to the US. I was doing this with video games too. I started with video games, but I started really getting into it with Pokemon. And so I would import stuff here, and then I would sell it in my eBay store. And a lot of that stuff, it's like hard to find, and people don't want to pay shipping from Japan in some places, and so they would prefer to just buy it from the US. And so I was doing this a bunch, and then I started, getting back into Pokemon, started selling a bunch of Pokemon cards, Pokemon boxes during all the Pokemon hype. And then after all of that, I started getting into yard sales. I started getting into buying like collections. I would buy, Pokemon collections, I'd buy video game collections, and I would sell all this stuff on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. And it is honestly so easy for anybody, I mean it, to make like an extra $1,000 a month, 5 hours like a week, maybe an hour a day. It's honestly insane. There'd be days where I'd go yard sailing, garage sailing, and I'd find video games that I bought for $1 that were worth, 50, 60, 70. I found games that were worth over $100 that I got for $1. And like half the time, I didn't even know. It was just $1 for a game. Yeah, I can't go wrong there. And so I would just pick it up. But I don't want to get into all of that. I can make a different video on that someday. What I want to get into is that like anybody could find a niche in reselling and just find stuff to flip. I think about it like you're providing a service, because a lot of times nobody's going to find these items where they are. And so the people looking for them are going online, they're going on eBay. And so your service is you're bringing these items to the secondary market, these people that actually want them but don't know where to get them other than the secondary market. And so I used to go to garage sales, and I would ask every single garage sale, hey, do you have any video games? Do you have any cards or anything like that you would be interested in selling? And sometimes they would be like, oh, wait a minute, actually. And then they would go down to their basement or their closet. They'd pull out a cool little shoebox or something. And, a lot of the times I'd be interested in it. And sometimes I didn't even know what I was looking at, but that's part of the fun, is the hunt, the thrill of the hunt. It's like a treasure hunt, It reminds me a lot of like Storage Wars, or American Pickers was another one. Basically just these people looking through these things that people don't want anymore, and you can find value in these things, and you can sell them online. There's so many different ways and avenues. I've sold video games, I've sold cards, I've sold toys, I've sold, clothing. I've sold so much clothing. Clothing is probably the easiest thing ever. You can start doing this with like $20 this weekend if you wanted to. Honestly, I started with a tax return, I think. And so I started just buying up stuff, $20 here, $20 there, $20 here, $20 there. And you start flipping stuff, and you can make good money. There's people doing this full time. But if you just want to have fun, dive in your hobbies a little bit and sell some stuff, maybe keep some stuff for yourself. That's what I did. I used it to help myself collect for free while reselling stuff. So I'd buy collections of games, save a game or two for myself, and then I would just sell off all the rest, make a small profit. And then I got to keep some games for myself for free. And I started doing that with Pokemon as well, because I didn't have a bunch of money to spend on cards, especially during 2020. So I'd buy collections, keep a few, flip the rest, and you make a small profit. And if you keep doing that over and over and over, next thing you know, you have, hundreds of dollars that you can put into these collections. And the more money you get to put into this stuff, the more you get back. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time, but it's honestly, that's why you should pick one of your hobbies to get into around this, so that you enjoy doing it. I think it's crazy how few people have side hustles, and how many people rely on their jobs like 40 hours a week to pay their bills. Like I won't do it. I won't work 40 hours a week anymore. I work like maybe 30. That's around usually what I work. And then I put like 5 to 10 hours into my eBay business. And I'm currently building a cheap singles, low-end single Pokemon store. So I want to have, tens of thousands of cards in my store that aren't worth that much, but that sell consistently. I feel like it'd be a really boring thing to most people, but because I enjoy it, I'm looking forward to it, and that's going to be a lot of work, but if you enjoy it, it doesn't feel like work, My girlfriend's dad always would tell me, if you enjoy what you do, you don't feel like you're working a day in your life. And that really stuck with me. And that's part of the reason I got into reselling. Anyway, I've been ranting for a while. I can go more in depth on this further if people want to, but yeah, I think everybody should have a side hustle. Everybody could have a side hustle, and I think you could have a lot of fun with a side hustle, and you might honestly turn it into something more. So if you're working 40 hours a week and you hate it, look for something else. It doesn't have to be shitty all the time. All right, I think that's gonna be it though. Been ranting enough about side hustles and eBay. I think I'm starting to feel a little bit better about doing this. The first couple videos, I felt awkward and like I didn't know how to talk. If you made it this far though, I appreciate you. Leave me any suggestions. Leave me some suggestions, or anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to play, and you got any questions or anything like that, just leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear. Hope you're having a great day though, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.